Hi folks, I hope everyone is doing alright. I hope you're having a good week. And today I decided to make a video, a sweet video about chocolates. I'm going to talk a bit about it and I'm going to explain to you why American chocolate is shit and I don't eat it. No, I don't eat it because it's shit. You can get American chocolate here via a couple of companies that sell little quantities of it, and they usually sell it until there is some kind of denounce by the proper authorities and the food is removed from the shelves. Just for you to understand, this one was sold by a British company that I'm sure is going to have problems about this. I'm not going to even to talk about it, but the truth is that if you look enough, you can find American chocolate here. Okay, it's not popular at all, but sometimes they just sell it for people to buy it out of curiosity. I bought it, but I'm not going to eat it, and I'm going to compare two. I'm going to compare two brands of chocolate here. Okay, and they are both non-Portuguese. Okay, around here we have I think two or three homemade brands of chocolate that are excellent, and those are the ones that I eat, and most of the population eats, and we even export it. But uh, today I'm going to talk about a Swiss company, Milka. Okay, and I have here. I'm sorry the camera is not very good to show you, but I have here a Milka snack pack Alpine milk. Okay, that I also like and I buy sometimes. I have some Reese's two peanut butter cups. This is American, okay? This one, for example, it's imported and it's produced under EU rules. Okay, but it still has a couple of components that around here uh, they recommend the lowest consumption possible. And then I have one, and this comes directly from the United States. This was imported by that British company that might have, there's going to have issues about this, I'm certain. And this is Hershey's cookies and cream. Now, I'm not going to eat either because I have already had the experience of buying. I don't want to be offensive, but I'm going to be offensive, so whatever. American crap, okay? This is not chocolate, number one. This is sugar with a lot of chemicals, and it doesn't really taste nothing, like nothing to me. Okay, when I eat a chocolate, even if it's a milk chocolate, an almond chocolate, whatever type of chocolate that I eat, and I like chocolate, it's my favorite treat. Uh, I want the taste of the chocolate too. I want to know that I'm eating chocolate and then I'm not eating a cookie or some sugary snack or whatever. And my stance is the stance of the crushing majority of all Europeans. When we go for a chocolate, we want the chocolate itself, okay? And that is why bitter chocolate is so popular around here because people like it and because it's good for you. If you don't know this, bitter chocolate is even good for your cognitive for your cognitive functions and all of that. And if you consume it with moderation, it's good for your health. Okay, it even boosts up your immune system. But now, let's start with the milk. Okay, I have here the bar. Let me see. My eyes are a bit wonky today. I'm very sorry, but basically, this has sugar, coconut butter, coconut paste, powdered milk serum in powder also, milk fat, an emulgent, lacticin or lacticin of soya, uh, walnut no, how do you call this? Uh, it's a dry nuts paste, cacao, and nothing more. Okay, this bar that lasts a lot of time. Okay, if it's closed, I can put it right here in the drawer of my desk. When my nephews, when they were kids, they used to come for their treat. Okay, I can put it here, forget about it. I don't know, in 2 or 3 months I remember I have a chocolate bar there and I open it up and I munch on it. Might have a little bloom, but it's all good. Now, let's move on to the Reese's Pieces. Okay, these are 2 peanut butter cups. And remember, this one is already mildly refrained from having a couple of chemicals that the original brand has in the United States. Now, and it's an orange here in terms of danger, so to speak. Now, let's see. They say it's milk chocolate 52%, so not original cacao. So it's already cacao mixed with something else. And this is just the outer filling, the cup of the chocolates. It has a filling of peanut butter cream. Yes, 48%. Ingredients: sugar, peanuts, dextrose, coconut butter. Cacao butter, cacao paste, powdered milk, milk fat, lactoses, salt, the emulsionants, which in this case is soya lecithin, the same as around here. But then they add these 3 ones that uh, they recommend you don't eat this more than once a month: E322, E476, an antioxidant, E319, an acidical regulator, E330. It might have milk solids and whatever. Okay, so do you see what this has? And now, la pièce de résistance. Oh God. Number one, the first thing I'm going to tell you about this is this. Uh, they they sold this in the UK. They sold it to Portugal and Spain. Okay, and like I told you, they might get in trouble about this, so I'm not going to say the name of the company in the United Kingdom that imported it and sold it here, because I'm not a police officer. I work in the business, but I'm not a police officer. Now, P.T. Hershey's white chocolate. They say here a couple of components, but let's see. Ingredients: sugar, vegetable oils, palm mist, karité, sunflower, cotton, powdered milk, wheat flour, enriched, niacin. I don't know how you say this in English. I'm going to try. Ferrous sulfate, thiamine, riboflavin, folic acid, corn syrup, lactoses, plain coconut powder, milk serum, the emulsionants, the same thing, soya, but it has some kind of a polymer of polystyrol, more corn syrup with fructose, coconut paste, yeast, sodium bicarbonate, salt, flavors. And then it has it's produced from the sugar. It comes from beetroot, corn, and soy grain, genetically modified. So what I have here, this is not a chocolate. This is a chemical, okay? And no, I'm not going to eat this. No, I'm not going to give this to anyone in my family. I'm going to pick this up and I am going to throw it into the trash. I just bought it. It's not expensive, okay? The Reese's, I think it was around 90 cents. And this imported, so to speak, Hershey bar, it cost around €1, I think. Or €1, 10 cents, some shit like that. So, not expensive at all. But let's just put this aside, out of sight, out of mind. But what I'm trying to show you in this very simple example is the amount of shit that they put in the food in the United States to mimic something that can be made as simple as this. And this here also, it has a lot of biochemical engineering. But they use components that your body can process. They use components that come from either vegetables or animals. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you eat this chocolate, Milka is not paying me anything, okay? No one is paying me anything to do this. I'm not monetized even, okay? But what I'm trying to show you right here in this very simple example is this. Everything that is in this European, call it whatever you want, chocolate bar, everything that is here, my body can process everything. And the shit that is in this crap, in this Hershey's, and in this peanut butter shit, and all that is in this shit, my body cannot process. It will accumulate in your gut. It will cause you health problems. A doctor once told me, and he talked about it. And when I told him that I like chocolate, he always told me, if you like chocolate, you can eat some milk chocolate every once in a while. But if you can, and if you like it, try to just eat dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, even bitter chocolate, that I like. Sorry, I know it's not to everyone's taste, but because he told me this, that chocolate that you eat, if you eat milk chocolate, of course, it will make you fat. Okay, it will weigh on your thighs, but that chocolate is completely processed by your body, meaning you eat the food and your body processes it all, okay, reduces it, okay, it turns it into fat cells, whatever. And that crap, with all of those chemicals, sometimes they pass through your system and they cause you minor diarrhea or some issue, some feeling like you're bloated or whatever, but they pass if you eat it once. If you eat it twice, if you eat it on a regular basis, like most Americans do, because, okay, you want a chocolate bar, you have to eat what you have. And that shit accumulates in your body and makes you sick. And what happens in this simple example of chocolates happens in everything. Okay? In everything. And then you have the things that you put, the chemicals that you put in your produce, in your vegetables, in your fruit, and then what you do to your meat. You pump the meat full with hormones and medicine and other shit, and then you wash it all up with chlorine, and you do the same thing with the eggs, and you stick it for someone to eat it. And now, chlorine chicken does not kill you. The issue here is it accumulates. The problem here is not today. Imagine this. Today you would travel to the United States, unlikely, and you would stop by a friend's house and he has some chicken and he roasted some chicken that he bought in the supermarket, and you eat it, you have yourself a beer, and you come back to Europe. Imagine this: that meal is not going to affect you, unless you have an allergy or something like that. It's not going to affect you. The issue here is when you have to eat that chicken every day, it will accumulate in your body. And to all those that think that being a vegetarian or a vegan is a solution, it's not a solution, because you have the same accumulation of chemicals in the food, in the water, in the air. Because what people have to understand is this: sometimes the exposure to a noxious, bad chemical for you once, your body will survive it, unless you are sicker or weaker, and then you will have long-term consequences of it. But your body will survive it. The issue here is long-term effects. This is why when Americans come to Europe, they say, "I ate pasta, I ate all of this, I don't feel bloated, okay? I go to the bathroom normally, I even lost weight, and this and that." It's because of the lack of chemicals. Look, I'm a fat bastard, okay? I used to, like I said in other videos, I used to have a more physically demanding job many years ago, and I practice martial arts and a lot of things, and then I simply stop it. And the end result is, of course, the gut. Okay, you start to get fat. But right now I'm on a diet. Oops, God, I hate diets. But right now I'm in with this manageable diet. But the issue here is that I might have health problems, or I might develop them because of the fact that I'm fat, but not because of the fact that, add to that being fat, add to that having those chemicals in your body. Imagine a person that is obese. Can you imagine the amount of chemicals that that person is accumulating in their system? Because these things, they don't just leave. You eat that burrito today, and those chemicals, if you are already consuming that on a daily basis, those chemicals will accumulate. Your body won't recover. So it's not a short-term event, okay? It's not the guy that I was talking about that goes to the United States and eats some Korean chicken with his friend. It's a daily event, and crap like this, okay? Sorry, that your government allows you to eat, crap like this, it's hurting you and your children. Look, if you have no consideration for yourself, okay, my friend, that's your problem. But you should at least have some consideration for your children, my friend. You are always talking about won't you think about the children? Well, you don't think about the children. You are trying to protect them of dumb shit, okay, like trans people or drag queens reading stories to kids, when you should be protecting them from shit like this and from the pedophiles in the system, and from having a president that's trying his best to take you on another stupid war, and offending everyone around the world, and crashing your economy and crashing your lives. Those are the real things you should worry about. Today, here in Portugal, it was a day of protest and striking. I am striking. I'm on strike today. And you want to know why? I'm not on strike solely for me. I don't really think about me so much. I'm on strike because of the younger people, my. I'm just going to talk about them solely. I'm on strike because of my nephews. I'm on strike for every young person in this country, because I think we should have to strike. and I only strike when I think we have to. And you don't know me, but seldom, I seldom go on strike. And I don't go on strike for convenience. I don't go on strike to have a longer weekend. I don't go on strike for any shit like that. I just go on strike when I think the reasons why we are striking are correct. But you don't do nothing. And you expect things to fall on your lap. Europeans have rights because we fight for them. We continuously fight for them. We fight we fight to keep our governments in check. This strike today, it's a warning shot at the government. If they back down, if they negotiate, everything will be alright. If they don't, they are going to get a lot of more fighting. And it will only escalate, and it will only get worse. Without violence, no. But you see, they are going to be voted on too. Their parties are going to be voted on too. And unlike some countries, if a lunatic had done what is being done to the United States, in 1 month he would be out of office. Simply as this, the parliament would start the proceedings against him, even if there was a supporting party for him in parliament. No, and he would be deposed, and new elections would be called. As simple as this, because around here in Europe, unlike the United States, our constitutions do have an effect. Our constitutional rights do have an effect. That is why X was fined in 128 million, and it will be fined in much more. Because it's like this: you want to work here, you want to act here, fine. Our rules are this: follow them. Or you don't want to follow them, fine. You still don't want to follow them, fine. Until the day that they say, so fines are not working, okay, remove yourselves from our market. Simple as this. And you will still have little shit like this with an American chocolate that is not fit for profit to be sold here. It will pop up eventually. But then people in the social media will start warning themselves. The government will, someone will remind himself, like I could do right now, and call some friend in the police and say, look, they're selling this shit. Why don't you warn the health authorities? And the health authorities are going to see. They go to the place where the chocolate is being sold. They go from who sold it to them until they reach the source. The point of entry in Europe, which this one is probably Ireland. Probably some shithead carries this to Ireland and then brings it to here. Simple. Well, I hope you liked this sweet video. It was just a little one, okay? Just talking about a very mundane issue, but one that you should be aware of. And if you are a British or a European, don't eat this shit, please, for your sake. Look, I'm not telling you that if you like it, you cannot once a month or whatever eat chocolate of this like this. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to do you any good, but it's not going to kill you. But avoid yourself to eating this shit. That this crap even has genetically changed, genetically altered grains and genetically altered oils. Look, and this is what they tell us that is in that. I'm not entirely sure they are telling the entire story. especially in that Hershey bars that comes directly from the United States, and that I know what it has, and it has much more than what they are saying there. But just out of curiosity, the American Hershey bars, it didn't even had a list of, pardon, a list of ingredients. They had to write it down in a sticker and put it in the chocolate to sell it here in Portugal and Spain. Isn't that funny? It tells a lot, doesn't it? Well, no worries. I'm not going to eat that shit. I hope you all have a great day. I'm going to publish this one ASAP, and I hope to catch you all in the next one.